And first of all, the grip or your wrist position at the setup. So currently the club shaft and your forearm are on the same line here. So that means that you have to move the wrist like this. It's called the ulnar deviation.
Yep.
Okay? So when this happens, you actually lose the wrist mobility, and then the swing becomes more elbow driven here. When the swing is elbow driven, then so when you use a wrist actively here, then you will be able to let the club head go here by using the wrist and the forearm motion. But you're holding it this way here, and if it's more elbow driven, dropping this, and then your body tends to turn away from the ball.
Okay.
And if you don't, have enough club head speed, then the ball goes to the right. So you have to use your wrist and forearm more. Generally, what I recommend is when you initially set up, that your wrist should be more in neutral position here, so almost straight here. So for that, when you hold the grip here, so your hand has to form an angle here with the shaft here.
Okay.
This way, as if you are just shaking hands with somebody, then your trigger finger will be longer. Right? So when you hold it this way, the wrist is more neutral here, instead of showing a lot of ulnar deviation here.
Yes, sir.
Then with that, you can use the wrist motion here to move the club here. Yeah, but if you're here, the motion is more coming from the elbow motion here.
Okay.
So I recommend a change in the wrist position here. So that means the arm is going more
A
down.
little more vertical.
Yeah, and then so you have an angle here instead of keeping it straight like
Got it.
this. Also, when you keep it straight, then not only you have ulnar deviation, but you tend to always have to see the front side view. But if you want to lift this up slightly, then the elbow goes outward here. So you must have a flexion at the elbow here. So again, with the reasonably straightened arms here, particularly using the pronation supination motion here, with this, you'll be able to generate good motion of the club head here. So you are losing a lot of club head speed because of more elbow-driven motion here.
Okay.
And that this becomes a problem here. So when you try to hit the ball like this,
Right. Yeah.
then
you
can
fall
have
for it.
wrist pain. And
Okay.
so the best is to keep the wrist more in the neutral position, and then using the pronation supination here, generate good motion of the club head.
Okay.
And then the transition from backswing to downswing is too quick. That means
I've struggled with that forever.
that means that you're using your arms.
Okay.
If you prepare your body during the backswing, then toward the end of the backswing, actually you have a good coiling and wind-up motion here. Then until this is completed, you cannot start the downswing.
Okay.
Only when your body is not developing much coiling motion, and your goal is then just to bring the arms here and then try to go down, then you have a quick transition. So you must have a mature transition.
Better coil.
So yeah, you should have the feel of go. It doesn't mean that you have to extend your body, but you really have good effort toward the end of the backswing and have a good wind up here.
Okay.
Then you will feel the tension in the trunk. Okay? So those muscles you will use in the downswing, those will be elongated
Put those on
and,
tension.
and develop tension. Yeah. So and also the backswing pad, the club head backswing pad is a bit low here. So around here, the club is located below the hands. Right? That means that it's flat. Then about here, up to this point, you can continue that motion, but you cannot go any further than you tend to lift the club head up here.
Okay.
And then on the way down, now you have really steep downswing pad here. This is common problem with those who are having a flat backswing initially. So what happens is, again, when you go flat here, so club head is
Makes the loop.
yeah. It's a bit easier to turn this way because you're just spinning. Particularly when your body is not ready from the stationary position, it's easy to just spin here. So with that, club head goes below your hands here, this way. You cannot go any further, so typically you have to lift it up. And the skilled golfers, they still keep the club head a bit lower, so moving the whole thing up here. So still you will see a little layoff of the club head here in this position, but usually amateurs, what happens is when you start flat here, then as you bring this up, the club head is lifted up here. So at some point, if you look at your hand position and the club head position relative to the swing plane, let's see. So about here, let's see. If you draw a line from the ball to midsection of the trunk here, so this is the line here.
You'd like the club to be
This is your typical
parallel to that line.
Yeah, this is your typical swing plane or the average swing plane. But then your hands are located closer to the swing plane than the club head. So when the club is lifted more, then it automatically gives you a crossover alignment. And then so eventually later you have to lift this up here. But still this posture is okay. However, when you start the downswing, because you went up here, when you start downswing, you're going from there, throwing the club head up here, almost the casting-like action here. It goes up here, then it'll follow this steep path on the way down. When you have a steep path on the way down, then club is coming, and also particularly you're using the elbow, more driven swing here, comes down and your body turns this way here. If you lose the ball, then the ball goes to the right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in order to bring the ball either straight or left, you have to turn a lot, then your body becomes upright in the follow through here. You see? In this pattern, you can easily lose the ball and then the ball goes to the right. The distance decreases quite a bit because you're losing the ball here. So one thing you want to practice is actually go higher in the backswing.
Okay.
You have to have a loop.
Steeper plane.
Yeah, you have to loop in the opposite direction. Instead of going low and going up here and then coming down steep here, you go a bit steeper and then bring it like down. That this will give you easy shallowing motion here. Okay. And then you don't have to drop the club head a lot because when you have this looping motion, automatically the club head drops. If it's too much, then you have something called a reverse spiral swing pattern. But typically, if you go a bit higher and then bring it slightly down, then this is not a problem. Okay. So again, instead of going low and then going high up here, it's go high and then bring it down a little bit. That's a better strategy so that you can position the club head better. When the club head is located properly, then in the downswing, all you do is just throw the club head. So that's what we see here in the down the line view here. And then also on the way down, I can see that the club head is moving away from your body quite a bit early on here. So throw it out and then swing like this. Yeah. Instead of bringing it a bit closer, turn here and then let it go. So you need to have the feel of using the wrist, almost a snapping action here. Okay? So that way you will have a good club head motion using the pronation, supination of the forearm here. Now let's go to the rear view here. Yeah, again, it's a rushed transition here. So from here. So the reason why you have to lift this up is because your right elbow is lifted. Then automatically, the club head goes high up. And then from here, if you pull this down, pull the grip down, the club head goes away. So it gives you a casting-like action.
Okay. So you're saying my right elbow is Is it the right elbow you say is?
Your right elbow is here, it's currently here.
Oh, okay.
Then you have to
And-
use your right
And
arm.
I would rather have it
Yeah,
tucked more like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. And also, instead of focusing on the right arm, you have to focus on your left arm. Left arm. So
Okay.
if you practice with your left arm alone and let it swing through here, then this will change quite a bit.
Okay.
You see the elbow is behind your body. From here, your hands are just coming down here. You see why the club head is going here. The club head moves up, wide here. And in order to pull this in, your body has to turn. And then now in this position, your upper body is shifting toward the target quite a bit here. Your foot is turning.
Spinning out.
Yeah. Instead, if everything is done correctly, then you should be able to throw this, and then your upper body is actually leaning in the opposite direction to maintain good balance here. Let's throw
Okay.
and then finish instead of.
I know what it looks like. I just don't know how to do it. I know what it's supposed. I know what that is supposed to look like. I just never have been able to feel it. Right.
So when you're in this position already, your elbow is flexed, and then you are making a strong statement that you are not going to use the wrist much.
Okay.
And you're using the elbow here instead. Yeah. And then what you should have is this motion here. So let's practice this with this stick here.
Okay.
This is light enough so that you can make many swings.
Okay.
So you can use both hands and then or one hand here, but try to mobilize the forearm here. So you see now the front side of the forearm is now facing this way here. It's facing this way. So this is called the supination of the forearm, and this is pronation here. This motion, with this motion and then a little bit of a wrist motion here, already you have a good range of motion of the white ball here. But if you use the elbow here, then this happens here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so use this supination pronation motion, yeah, and then also this one here, the same thing. So when you have this supination motion here, what happens is as the white ball goes around your body, your hand has to be lifted a little bit here. So instead of keeping the hands low and lifted the club head here, so you go flat here, and then when you lift this, then club head goes high. So if this is a swing plane, then club head stays away from the swing plane, right? Instead, you have the feel of lifting something up, as if you are, serving in a restaurant. Yeah.
Okay.
So as you, in the backswing, try to bring the hands a bit higher, and then lay off the club head.
Okay.
So even if this goes too high, but still it's okay, then you will generally have a bit steeper pad on the way up. But then you can easily, by having a slight looping motion, you can easily bring this down here.
Bring it back.
So bringing this down is not a problem. Interestingly, when we go a bit higher, then naturally we try to bring it down. But if you go low here, then you start with a steep downswing
The
plane here.
momentum's going to bring it.
So lift the hands a little bit here, and then let the white ball go around your body, and almost you feel that you're dropping the club head a little bit. And the left side, the same thing. When you let it go, lift this hand. It's not lifting like this, but rather by using the supination motion here, and then let the hand go a bit higher here.
Got it.
Then the white ball will nicely go around your body. Okay? So because the end of the stick or the end of the club is hitting the ball here. So you have to guide the end point correctly instead of moving the hands the way you want. So basically, the body moves and then the arms you all move to promote motion
the
of
club
the
head follows what your body does,
So
not what your hands
now when you have both hands here, still have this feel here, go up and go up here. Then actually you will have a good motion of the white ball, and you are using this pronation supination range of motion really well.
Okay.
you can do this with relatively no risk here. But when you use wrist a lot, you have a lot of risk here in the wrist joint. So those who are excessively using the wrist, they have wrist pain.
Okay.
But when you use the pronation, supination motion nicely,
You're using
bigger
these
muscle.
muscles, not your wrist muscles.
Yeah, yeah. So it's easier on the wrist as well. So I have the feel of shaking off a gum stuck to the head here. Okay? So by giving this snapping motion here, you're shaking it off. And then promote the good motion of the white ball. Don't worry about what your body does. If your goal is to move this thing fast enough, and then the same thing with the left here.
Okay.
So let's start with the right arm, right hand only. Yeah, again, make sure you maintain this angle here. So the wrist is more in the neutral position. And then swing back and forth actively. The goal is to throw the white ball fast around. One thing here. At the top, your hand cannot go this far here because if you add the left arm, it should be here. So you have to keep it a bit closer. And also, no abrupt stop.
Okay.
Again, it's a continuous motion here. So when you throw, then let it go all the way and nicely finish here. Instead of stopping here, then you try to fight. So work with the club, okay? You can make it a bit shorter. So hold it, choke up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, your right hand doesn't go that far.
Sure. Okay.
So with that, throw, shake off the gum stuck at the end. Yes, yes. Already the swing motion is a lot smoother now.
Okay.
Already it's smooth. And then no need to move your body a lot because your goal is to move the white ball actively here. Just have a little bit of dancing action, rhythmic dancing action.
So naturally your body knows that it has to move.
Yeah. Yeah, the swing motion is getting stable, getting more stable here. Still it's too far out here, Okay. So bring it a bit closer. So here, again, if you hold it with both hands, then it's about here. So you try to keep the right arm a bit closer to the chest here, so that you can have this stability here. And all you do is just focusing on the white ball motion instead of moving the arms a lot. Okay? Let it go, let it go, let it go. This is called the whoosh stick because the holes here, it makes sound.
Whoosh sound,
Yeah. So give me a good whoosh sound. Shake it off, draw, yes. So when you have good forearm motion, you don't have to use your body excessively like this. And particularly when you use your elbow a lot, then without using the wrist and the forearm motion, then you have to move your body a lot. But when you have a good forearm motion, then you don't need the excessive body motion. Throw. And on the way down, on the way back, this is a bit too low.
Too long.
Yeah, so a bit higher here. Then you'll have more motion here. So try to bring the white ball here.
Okay,
this
almost
is
where I can see it in my peripheral.
Yeah. This is your target position.
Okay.
And also on the way down, you are not supposed to try to hit it with the right arm. Your right arm is nicely holding it, and you're using your body and then throw.
Okay.
So here, so this is folded here. And from here, you are extending it here, but the turn is coming from the body. You're simply extending the arm here. But if this is lifted up here, when you try to bring this down, you hit the ground.
Hit the ground.
Yeah. So try to emphasize the turn motion and then swing through, swing through. Yes, yes, yes. Swing through. And bring the right hand a bit higher and closer to the body. And then, oh, this is a bit crossover here. So it has to come like this.
Okay.
And then throw, turning and throw. It's short, it's short, it's short. So keep good backswing motion. It's important to secure enough range of motion.
Okay.
I think you are not still there yet, but
So when you say, so
yeah, and then here.
this. So yeah, because I wouldn't be a.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to envision that.
And then,
with only
and then instead of using the arms here and try to hold it here, let the white ball go enough here.
Okay.
Okay. The muscles you have to elongate are these muscles here.
Okay.
So as you turn, you should feel tension here. You should feel tension in the hip, right hip, and so on. But no need to lock this.
But not here.
No need to lock here.
Okay.
A lot of people put a lot of effort holding it here. And even when I ask them to assume their position, they're like shaking like this. No, there's no reason to put a lot of effort here. Rather,
The shaking, the tension is.
by turning, you're developing tension here.
Okay.
And then the hip muscle here. So then the muscles are elongated. From using those muscles, throw. Now let's use your left arm only. Left arm, left hand only. Left hand only, and then do the same thing. Again, don't try to hit something hard, but pay attention to the flow. Here, you're going out like this. Again, you're using the arms. Just this side is the deceleration phase here. And after accelerating and then swing here, and then you're decelerating here. There's no reason to.
Just keep. Okay.
So here.
Keep turning
Let it go. Yes.
Let it go.
Let it go here. Again, this arm is not extended here. It has to stay about here.
Okay.
So you're turning the body. Using this, you're moving the whole thing. And then the arms are simply controlling the traffic here instead of the arm try to do something here.
Okay.
The backswing should be emphasized. So go higher, and then throw. Yeah. If the backswing is small, then you tend to turn this way too much. Okay. So when you have enough backswing, then the downswing will be more toward me here. It's turning too much. You're turning too much this way.
Okay.
So try to throw the white ball toward me, the target. Inward. That's better. Better. Yeah. So the bottom line is, no need to fight. This is what you use to develop your speed, right?
Okay.
So there's no reason to fight.
And then
instead of holding it like this, always, yeah. And you should be able to lift this. At this time, as you swing, let's do this. Okay. So with both hands, go up here, and then you swing, then let it go with the one arm here.
Let it go. Okay.
As if you see this in the baseball. Yes. And then in doing that, feel the motion of the white ball. Your goal is to move the white ball nicely. Now use both hands all the way. But again, swing back and forth continuously. Your goal is to throw the white ball, throw, yes. And then try to keep the swing plane consistent both ways.
Okay.
So you have to control the motion of the white ball so that it moves along the
Along
similar
the
plane,
plane.
Yeah, on the way back. Let it go both ways. Now let's have this image here. This is good. This is good. The motion is changing. Okay. Now let's say this image. So when you add a sound, okay, kapow, kabam, kapow, kabam, and the pow, let's exaggerate here. So kapow, kabam, kapow, kabam. So with that,
You're
winding up.
emphasizing the wind up.
Yeah. Kapow, kabam. Kapow, kabam. Kapow, kabam. Kapow, kabam. Still on the way down, you tend to use your arms first.
Okay.
But here, kapow, and then wait here, as if you are shooting an arrow. Kapow, kabam. Kapow, kabam. Instead of kapow.
Okay. That's me. You got me nailed.
Oh, already the overall swing flow is very different. So the bottom line is this is one continuous motion. And in doing that, we need to promote the good end motion, right? The motion of the end point. And then simply body and the arms all work together to promote that motion. And particularly what's important is what's happening here.
Okay.
Because this is the last link, okay? And then it's connecting the club and the body. So you have to use this motion really well to allow the range of motion. But if you hold it like this, then flex the elbow here, then the club and the forearm are pretty much moving as one unit here because it's a more elbow-driven swing. Instead, using this motion here.
Okay.
And then, so also, once you hold this correctly with the almost neutral position, neutral wrist position here, from here, you can easily slightly lift this here. This will give you a bit steeper path.
Steeper plane. Got it.
So when you go this way here, with this motion, and go here and then supination here, then hand goes up and the club head goes this way, right? So instead of spin here, bring the head down and then try to.
There's no way it can do anything but come down.
So if you bring this a bit higher here, so that when this is pointing laterally here, pretty much horizontal here, pointing that way, and if you keep doing this, then in one action you can go to the target position instead of having a detour. When you have a detour here, then it has consequences. But if you go directly to that position here, then let it go.
Okay.
So again, feel the motion of the white ball around. Both ways, throw, and then promote good white ball motion. Yes. Good wind up. Pow, kabam. Kapow, kabam. Kapow, kabam. Kapow, kabam. So when you use these muscles here, kapow and good wind up and go down, the swing becomes easier. You feel it's a bit easier because instead of using these small muscles,
Makes your small muscles tired.
you are using
your
these big muscles.
Can do it.
Yeah. And then as you repeat, you can develop the rhythmic action here. Throw, kapow, kabam, kapow, kabam. Okay. Again. Oh, so let me record this, and I'll show you your swing plane and how the swing flows. Okay, ready, go. Whoa, this is nice. Ooh. So now the color motion is really simple here.
Yeah, almost looks like it's on one plane. Nearly.
Yeah, so you're developing nice swing plane here. So just to feel the flow and throw the head, okay? So that's the idea. Okay. Now let's go to the rope swing.